Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. It is, Saturday, the 21st of March, National California Strawberry Day, National Common Courtesy Day. Boy, a little bit of that goes a long way. National Countdown Day, National Fragrance Day. That's why it smells so good. Also, National French Bread Day. National Single Parent Day, World Down Syndrome Day, National Corn Dog Day, and National Quilting Day. Sunday, the 22nd of March, National Bavarian Crepes Day, National Goof Off Day, and National West Virginia Day. All of those things happening this weekend, so a lot of fun things to celebrate. And we're also going to be talking with Simone Missick. This could absolutely be a Movie Star Monday guest, but instead we're going to be chatting with Simone today because I've got so many guests lined up, which is awesome. Huge thank you to the people that line those up. She's on the TV show All Rise on CBS, also on the program Altered Carbon on Netflix. Going to be chatting with Simone Missick in just a bit.
If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you should consider joining us for this amazing vacation.
My wife and I have been to this event the last 3 years, and we've had a blast.
Join us at The Sands.
Hear amazing music from Billy Idol,
Cheap Trick,
Belinda Carlisle,
Little River Band,
The Hooters,
Tesla,
Howard Jones,
and many more.
Plus, meet awesome stars from movies and TV.
It's the best week ever.
Learn more right now at thesands.rocks.
That's thesands.rocks.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new study by the University of Geneva found that being stubborn and rigid may protect your brain against Alzheimer's disease.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm pretty stubborn, depending on the situation.
On what's happening.
I'm going to start being stubborn, I can tell you that. I've got a link to that story. You can read it if you want to. What's that? You don't want to? Okay, then don't. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Not all credit cards are created equally. Some cards have higher rates, some have annual fees, some are just not very good. Often people will sign up for these because that's all they qualify for. But if you've done that, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation can change. Then you could qualify for a better credit card, one that offers you a better rate, or one that offers miles, points, cash back, or whatever is the best fit for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Police in California report an incident they called a very messy arrest. Anthony Espinoza was contacted when he was pulled over riding a bicycle on the wrong side of the road, attempted a probation search, eventually fled, making it to the 400 block of Riverside. That's where he defecated himself.
Oh, my.
Then he put his hands in his pants with his bare hands.
Yuck.
And attempted to ward off the police with that all over his hands.
Yuck.
He was arrested. Believe it or not, there was methamphetamines located in his backpack.
Yeah, shocker.
He was transported to the San Luis Obispo County Jail. That is not a very pleasing story. It's just
it's not.
I've got some things I'd like to say, but I won't because it's on the radio. But we'll just say it's a stinky, smelly story. That's a nice way of putting it. There we go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This, by the way, is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Tom Hanks, everybody's still talking about the fact that he and his wife his son, Chet, took to Instagram to announce that his parents have left the hospital and they've entered self-quarantine, but he went online to let people know, hey, here's an update on mom and dad. A lot of people have been asking.
Right.
I know a lot of folks are concerned about that, so I'm glad to be able to give that update. We have been trying to not focus a lot of time talking about that particular, not Tom Hanks, but the other thing, the COVID-19. Right. But there's a couple of stories in a row here that I'm going to mention. Rachel Matthews, star of Frozen 2, announced on Instagram that she tested positive for COVID-19. Also, Ukrainian actress Olga Kurylenko, I probably said it wrong. She was in the James Bond film Quantum of Solace. She also tested positive. So there's some other folks. So keep them in your thoughts. If you're a praying person, keep them in your prayers. Disney has stopped production on a lot of live action films for that same reason as well. And Al Roker and Craig Melvin are taking time off from the Today Show for that same reason. So like I said, little blip, We're not going to focus on that a whole lot. We try to avoid it just because you're hearing it everywhere else. You don't need to hear it here, too. But this has been Big Screen, Little Screen. It's brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Drinking too much can ruin your life. Alcohol and drug issues can cause problems at work, at home, and pretty much everywhere. If substance abuse has taken over your life and you want to quit, there is help. TimeForRehab.com could be the first step in the right direction for you. TimeForRehab.com would love to help you find a new life beyond addiction. Your insurance company may even cover the cost to help make this happen. You can learn more now at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. A survey found online alcohol delivery services in New York are the hottest business right now. So I didn't know that was even a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either.
Apparently it is. Organizers of Roswell, New Mexico's annual UFO festival say the event is still a go, despite concerns. So there's people that are saying you should cancel it, and they're like, no, we're not going to. So these are people putting on a UFO festival. I mean, really? Just, I'll
I
move
could
on.
see you going to something like
Honestly,
that.
I would kind of like to
I know
go
you
to
would.
it. So that's why it's okay for me to say that. McDonald's is closing the seating areas and playrooms in many of their locations around the country. 2020 marked the first time in New York City history. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. The first time New York City went without a St. Patrick's Day parade in over 100 years. So not the first time in history, but the first time in over 100 years.
Right.
Lady Gaga revealed that she's going into self-quarantine and she is refusing to visit her parents. She's concerned if she came across something that she would take it to them. So she's self-quarantining herself. Did I say that right? That sounds very repetitive. The annual furry convention in Atlanta has been canceled. Heidi has all kinds of time on her hands now. And Courtney Stodden posted a series of lingerie photos on Instagram to, quote, show off her breakup haircut. She is 25 years old now, but you got to remember, when she tied the knot with Doug Hutchinson, she was just 16. He was 50. So, now that that was 10 years ago, because she's now 25. New York City has ordered a nightlife shutdown amidst the virus. So, like, all kinds of bars and all kinds of stuff closed in New York City and many other places, too. So, it's, they say the city that never sleeps, but right now, like, what is there to do?
I just don't know what all these people are going to do that rely on, I know.
Employees
and owners. Well,
Las Vegas casinos have joined the airline industry in asking the federal government for a bailout. And Amazon, I think, is doing okay because they're actually hiring 100,000 workers to fill surge in orders right now. So here's the one thing that I would encourage people to do. If you can, support local businesses.
Absolutely.
Now,
they need it.
more than ever, they're going to need that help. So, again, thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. We appreciate it.
Introducing InsuranceChicken.com. Why InsuranceChicken.com? Why not? Another insurance company has a duck, one has an emu, and that other company has a lizard. So InsuranceChicken.com is no more silly than any of those. Is it time for you to cross the road for your insurance? Don't be chicken. Check out InsuranceChicken.com. We'll help you peck out the best insurance rates we can find at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Our guest today is Simone Missick. She's a fabulous actress. She's on a TV program called All Rise on CBS on Monday nights, 9, 8 Central. She's also in a program called Altered Carbon, which is like based in the future. It's on Netflix. And this season, all 8 episodes are available. You can watch those whenever you'd like. But let's start right now with All Rise on CBS. Simone, tell me a little bit about the program for people who have not yet had a chance to catch this.
Oh, so All Rise is a drama, but we kind of call it a dramedy because it's got a lot of funny moments. But it's about the men and women who make up the justice system in Los Angeles. I play a judge named Lola Carmichael who's newly appointed and trying to make a difference, trying to, use her own brand of justice. And it's about, what happens with these people's lives. It's not a crime of the week. It really goes behind and goes into the homes and the lives of these lawyers and clerks and bailiffs, and it's a fun ride.
That had to be quite the honor to be asked to portray a judge.
Yeah, it was definitely a new role for me. I always thought, I'll play a lawyer one day. And so to play a judge, which you don't see a lot of shows centered around a judge. I remember watching Judging Amy growing up, and I remember when I got the job, my dad was like, so like night court? And I was like, yeah, no, Dad, not like night court. But, I think that it's fun to be able to step into this role as a woman, as a woman of color, especially to be able to play a judge and someone thinks it's fair and honest. I'm not always, as level-headed and looking at everyone's position like a judge would need to be. So I feel like this is definitely an aspirational show for me as an actor.
And again, All Rise is on CBS on Monday nights. Now let's go to literally like a whole different universe for Altered Carbon. Tell us a little bit about this program.
So Altered Carbon is set 400 years, actually now, 400 years in the future. And it's based off of a sci-fi book by the same name by a man named Richard K. Morgan. But in the second season, which is where I'm joining you, I play a bounty hunter by the name of Trep. I'm a woman who is tasked to find Takeshi Kovacs, played by Anthony Mackie, and there are these gruesome murders that are taking place on the planet, and I'm tasked to try to figure out who's doing it. And it's a lot of fun. It's interesting because it's also a love story in the middle of it. Kovacs is looking for his long-lost love, played by actress Renee Elise Goldsberry, who we know from Hamilton and the Henrietta Lacks story on HBO, but she plays this fierce warrior, and the question is she alive and is she not, and can he find her, and at the same time, can he solve these murders? And so it's an interesting kind of a show. It's a concept that I certainly hope we don't get to, where human consciousness has been able to be put into these things called stacks, and you can take your consciousness and put it into anyone else's body. I hope we never get to that.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it makes for exciting sci-fi television.
Again, Altered Carbon is on Netflix. Now, you have made history a few times. First African-American woman to lead a series on CBS, and also the first African-American female superhero, Misty Knight.
Was the best thing that happened to my career ever. It was my first big job. I had no idea how life-changing it would be when I walked into the room and auditioned, but it certainly did change my life and set me off on a path of playing these strong women. I'm eternally grateful to God for that role and that show and that character and those fans, people who had been waiting to see Misty Knight come to life for 40 years. This character had been drawn in the 60s and 70s. She was the first black female superhero ever drawn. I know I grew up watching Storm in the X-Men and then eventually seeing Halle Berry play her, and so to be even considered in that way and in that canon of the comic books, it was a gift.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us about it. Simone, have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Again, Simone Missick has been our guest. Altered Carbon on Netflix right now. All Rise on CBS Monday nights, 9, 8 Central. All of the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you should consider joining us for this amazing vacation.
My wife and I have been to this event the last 3 years, and we've had a blast.
Join us at the Sands.
Hear amazing music from Billy Idol,
Cheap Trick,
Belinda Carlisle,
Little River Band,
The Hooters,
Tesla,
Howard Jones,
and many more.
Plus, meet awesome stars from movies and TV.
It's the best week ever.
Learn more right now at thesands.rocks.
That's thesands.rocks.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Mr. Cherry breaks all the records. Take a listen to this. Even if you've never heard of him, Japan's record breaker has broken the most records. Cherry Yoshitake? I don't know if I'm saying it right. He's a children's entertainer who goes by Mr. Cherry. Much easier to say. 2018 alone, Mr. Cherry set a 1-minute record for the most pairs of underwear pulled on, 36, the most baked beans eaten, 71, and the most apples bobbed, 37. All of those in 1 minute.
Okay.
Each its own minute. That would be really hard. So he's got a lot of records. That is a very fun fact.
Not all credit cards are created equally. Some cards have higher rates, some have annual fees, some are just not very good. Often people will sign up for these because that's all they qualify for. But if you've done that, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation can change. Then you could qualify for a better credit card, one that offers you a better rate, or one that offers miles, points, cash back, or whatever is the best fit for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline China. Chinese real estate tycoon has vanished after criticizing the Chinese president of their handling of COVID-19. Now, gone. I've got a link to the story. It's in the show notes. It's very concerning. And they also had like a building collapse on a bunch of the people who were recovering. So a lot of weird stuff going on there. I've got a link to that story. Like I said, it's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Drinking too much can ruin your life. Alcohol and drug issues can cause problems at work, at home, and pretty much everywhere. If substance abuse has taken over your life and you want to quit, there is help. TimeForRehab.com could be the first step in the right direction for you. TimeForRehab.com would love to help you find a new life beyond addiction. Your insurance company may even cover the cost to help make this happen. You can learn more now at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The brothers who have become internet famous for buying 18,000 bottles of hand sanitizer, then trying to sell it as a profit.
Yeah.
They were cleaned out last weekend. They were shut down by Tennessee prosecutors days after they whined about the likes of eBay and Amazon closing their price gouging attempts. Matt Colvin and Noah Colvin were ordered by the state's attorney general to, quote, stop buying and selling medical goods and products. They said, we will not tolerate price gouging in times of exceptional need, and we will take aggressive action to stop it. The attorney general in Tennessee is the one who said all of that. The anti-price gouging law was in place because the governor, Bill Lee, Tennessee governor, declared a state of emergency. So that's how that all came together. I've got a link to that story, by the way. It's in the show notes for today. It is wrong. Don't do that. Now, it's nice to think, hey, I'm going to do something to help people out, but when you're not helping people out, you're helping yourself.
No, they were doing it.
That's not good. That's not the way you do things.
They were taking advantage of people.
Absolutely. That's just the wrong way to do it. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. An American Airlines passenger delayed a flight to Nashville for over 8 hours because he was joking about having coronavirus. The flight, set to depart at 6:30 p.m. Saturday from Dallas, took off. This is last weekend, by the way.
Not smart at
was hampered
all.
by a man who first refused to lift his tray table. Then he claimed he had the virus. People were freaked out because nobody knew what was going on. Another passenger reported to the local news people didn't know if he was actually sick or if he really did or didn't. The unruly passenger was ejected from the plane by hazmat crews, who then explained the situation to freaked out travelers. Flight was still delayed by unnerved crew members who refused to fly after the fiasco. It was supposed to get to Nashville at 8:40 p.m., didn't get there till 4:40 the next morning.
Whoa.
American Airlines said the man was arrested for making a false claim, but did not provide further comment about the incident. So don't add two things like that. Just don't do that. That's a bad idea. That's why it's today's moment of duh.
Introducing InsuranceChicken.com. Why InsuranceChicken.com? Why not? Another insurance company has a duck, one has an emu, and that other company has a lizard. So InsuranceChicken.com is no more silly than any of those. Is it time for you to cross the road for your insurance? Don't be chicken. Check out InsuranceChicken.com. We'll help you peck out the best insurance rates we can find at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it hashtag fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, fake news or Florida? Taco Bell worker in Miami arrested for impersonating a police officer after he attempted to confiscate drugs from a customer so he could use them. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say fake news.
That is fake news. I think there's way too much going on in that headline.
I mean, how's he gonna? He's an employee. How's he gonna pretend to be a cop?
He was undercover.
Oh, undercover. Okay.
Oh, you came to the wrong window today, mister. I'm an undercover officer. Here's your churro. You're going to have to give me that.
Yeah, I don't
Do they
think
even have
so.
churros? I don't know. I need to get out more. This has been Fake News or Florida on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. And Heidi, I think this is good news.
Alrighty.
Comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. And we're heading to your home state for this one. 93-year-old woman from Iowa. Every morning, she waves at the school bus when they drive by.
Aww.
And she got a birthday surprise last week. Bonnie Linder from Hartley, Iowa, wakes up early, waits for the school bus to go by, and she waves as the kids ride by. And the kids wave back. The driver gives her a big wave. Well, Sunday, she turned 93, so last weekend. On Friday of last week, the bus driver and the kids on board the bus had a big surprise for her. It says here, my mother will be 93 on Sunday, and it warms my heart to see this simple yet powerful act of kindness. Bonnie's daughter, Judy Zimmerman, wrote this on Facebook. She said, as I visit from Texas, know that there is always will be a sense of joy for the small communities in Iowa where good still exists and joy is found. And there's a video here of them stopping to say happy birthday. And it's really just, I think, pretty darn cool. So I've got a link to the story, to the video, to all of the stuff, and her little birthday surprise video. It's all in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. If you come across a good news story, and I know there are probably a lot of good news stories that I'm not seeing right now, but if you're seeing them where you are, if you see somebody doing something awesome and amidst all the chaos we have going on in the world, share that story with me. I would like to maybe feature them on our good news segment sometime in the next week or two. You can do that through our website, johnandheidishow.com.